Hi everyone, I'm Sanchini Munisinghe, and in this video series, I'm going to talk about project management concepts in a simple and a practical way. If you're planning to move into project management, or if you're already managing projects without understanding the standards behind it, then this video series is for you. Let's start at the very beginning. When we talk about projects, before there is a project, there is only an idea. An idea that something could be better, an idea that something should be changed or improved, an idea that there might be an opportunity. So at this stage, it's not a project. There's no approval, no budget, no team, no project manager. It's just an idea. And why it's important to understand this stage? Because many people think project starts with planning, but they don't. And in many organizations, you may not even notice this part. Because these early discussions usually happen at a leadership level or business level. Often these are done by sponsors, business owners, or senior management. So if you are a project manager or a team member, you may only see the project after these decisions are already made. But when you know what exactly happens here in this stage, it helps you to understand why the project exists. Now let's talk about ideas. People can come up with different ideas. But just because there is an idea, organizations do not immediately start a project. Instead, what they do is they pause and evaluate that idea. Because once a project is started, organization obviously has to invest their time, money, and resources. And that's why they first go through a decision-making stage. And this stage, we call it as project pre-initiation. So in this stage, the first thing the organization tries to understand is the need. What is really happening? Why does this matter? And is this the right time to initiate a project? And this evaluation or assessment, we call it as need assessment. And why do we need a need assessment? Because when we have an idea, that idea could be vague. We want to turn that vague idea into something clearer. So the sponsors, business owners, senior stakeholders, they do a need assessment to understand this idea or the need in a better way. And at this point, still there's no project manager assigned because we don't have a project yet. And once the need is understood, what could be the next question? When we know what the need is, we want to understand, is it worth doing something about this? Time, money, and resources, all these things are limited. So the organization takes a step back and evaluate this idea. Usually this evaluation is captured in a document called business case. So the business case explains why this work should be done and what value is expected and what would be the cost versus benefit and what are the high-level risks that needs to be considered. And this evaluation, it helps the decision makers to decide whether to move forward or stop. So this is not about execution. It's all about making smart decisions. Now, the business case, it justifies the decision to move forward. But justification alone is not enough. Organization, they usually don't invest in a project to approve them. They invest to gain benefit. Now, the focus should move from decisions to outcomes. And this is where the benefit management plan comes into play. Once the business case shows that this idea is worth pursuing, benefit management plan makes those expected benefits more clear and valuable. So it answers questions like, what benefits are we expecting from this work? When should those benefits start showing up? And who is responsible for making sure those benefits actually happen? Think of it this way. Business case, it explains why we should invest. On the other hand, benefit management plan explains what success should look like after we invest. So both the business case and the benefit management plan are closely connected. And all these documents, need assessment, business case, and benefit management, are business documents. So during the pre-initiation, need assessment explains or helps us to understand the problem. And the business case, it helps us to decide whether to invest. And the benefit management plan, it defines what success really means. So all these things happen before a project officially starts. And we call this as business thinking, not execution. And once this is completed, work should move into initiation stage. Now you understand, not every idea should become a project. We have the project pre-initiation to turn an idea into a well thought out decision. So this step helps us or the organizations to choose the right work for the right reasons. This is all about project pre-initiation, and in the next video, let's talk about initiation and project charter. Thank you very much.